and the fall begins. This is a brilliant thing. And I love the fall. The fall is probably one of my favorite seasons. What is your favorite season?
Probably summer.
And why? I mean, you're swimming, you hate the beach. I mean, why do you even like summer? Freak.
I like the sun.
Shut up. It's sunny everywhere in that dirt shit patch you're from. It's never not sun. I like the fall because to me it's beautiful and you become conscious of time. Become conscious of time in the fall and become every idiot you have to suffer through. Every moron, every person that steals a minute of your day with their nonsense, whether they're a friend, family, colleague, I don't care who it is, be conscious of that this fall. Because, just be conscious of every minute of where somebody's stealing your life with their insanity. And you go, I know. If their insanity is amusing, I'm all for it. I've been friends with people. I've wasted hours and hours of my life listening to babbling psychopaths because they're entertaining. And I've told you many of what they've said, and it's funny. But if they're not entertaining, just, But it's a great season. October, Halloween. We've got a line of merch. I mean, is this the nicest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, top tier.
I have never seen clothing like this in my life. I'm not kidding. This isn't a joke. I've never seen clothing like this in my life. To me, it's epic, and it stays. It's amazing, and it can be worn in all seasons and all climates, which many clothes cannot do. It is not a particular style. It's timeless, and it has a feeling. No, yes, yeah, it is.
I'm imagining someone 100 years from now, right?
No, it actually would work. It actually will work, and people will wear it 100 years from now, and they'll speak of these days. And people will go, what was it like then? And they'll go, it's a real knife fight out there. We're told. But it's really beautiful merch. And we are, going to be introducing this very shortly. And we're hoping that people enjoy it as much as we do, because you work very hard now. You emailed the designer.
I did. A few times.
So to me, I don't want to understate role in the operation of what we do. So many people dismiss you because they just look at what you do and go, what? But really the reality of it is that behind the scenes, you're doing so much. And one of the things you've done is send a 3 or 4 sentence email to the designer of this merch with the vision for the merch that we both kind of came up with, right?
I think so.
Right?
You had one, I had one.
Right. And it's important to me that you buy the merch. It really is.
It is.
It is important that all of you listening buy the merch. And I don't want to hear nothing. Inflation's going down. The price of gas is going down. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear that your kid is sick. Your mother-in-law fell. The job's not what it used to be. The hours are getting crunched. The neighborhood's changing. The taxes are up. The water's brown. You got a pain in your lower back. I don't want to hear that you're vomiting and shitting more than you used to. That you wake up in the middle of the night shivering. I don't want to hear that you don't have anything to believe in, that your kids hate you because you can't provide them with the style of life that their friends have. I don't want to hear that you can't get hard to fuck your wife because she's fat now because she's eating our poison food. I don't want to hear that you can only jerk off to women getting beaten on the internet because you resent your wife because she finished college and you didn't. I don't want to hear that you have 3 dogs and 2 of them need operations and you can't afford it and one of them's starting to smell. I don't want to hear that your father doesn't look you in the eye because he's ashamed of the man that you've become. I don't want to hear any of that. I want you to go buy this merch. And I want you to wear it. And all those problems are fucking minuscule when you're supporting a podcast you like, that you enjoy. And people go, what is that? And you tell them, oh, it's a show I like. And the guys, your wife, go, let's talk about something that's beautiful. Let's talk about art. Let's talk about a couple of guys that sit in a room and do their hot takes every week. And I like it. It's my time. I sit in my car and I get high and I listen to it and I drink. And that bitch knows it's my time. She doesn't come out to see me. And if she did, man, I picture it. I picture her coming out on that front porch. I picture her going, stop listening to that fat fuck and raise your kids. And I said, I'll reverse right into that fat bitch. But she never comes outside because she's watching Betsy. She's watching Hillary Clinton talk to a reverend about her very tough decision to stay married. And she's drinking wine in our back room and she can't even hear me. And I'm out there tinkering in the garage, fixing it, finding it out. The kids, they run by and I go, what are you doing? And they go, oh man. They pay me no mind. That's okay. Because I got a podcast that I like. I got a podcast that I enjoy. I got two boys who talk the shit I like. I don't care what this family ends up doing. This family's not going to produce generations of wealth. It's not going to produce happy people. It will end. My kids may not have kids, and if they have kids, I worry even more about it. This will end. It will end in juvenile hall. It will end in small claims court. It will end in family court. It will end addicts with 4 days of sobriety, scraping the skin of their arms, trying not to fucking go to the 7-Eleven parking lot and buy another blue to just get them back to even. It'll end in a suburb of Schenectady, New York. It'll end in Schoharie County. It'll end in Albany, in the back of a catering hall. It'll end bad. It'll end at a funeral we can't afford. It'll end going into the ground with a couple of bar buddies standing around checking their watches. It ends bad, but fuck it. I got a podcast today with a couple of boys that I like, and they're talking about Hillary Clinton on the internet. And don't kid yourself, that means something to me, because my family hates me, and I have no money, and I wish I was dead every minute of every day. But today, I got a podcast to listen to, and they just said there's merch. They actually just said there's going to be merch. They said and my wife's going to fight about it, because we have an emergency-only account. Like the last time we used it is when my son was accused of rape. He didn't do it. He was dating a woman, and she was taking liberties with the truth. And he was accused of rape, and we had to bail him out. This is before the no bail law. But before the no bail law, we had to bail my son out, who was accused of rape by his on-again, off-again girlfriend, who said he came over the house and had his way with her. And he assured us that he had not done that, but we had to bail him out. And we used the emergency fund. The other time we used it is when my car broke down. My wife was using my car. She's a server at a local rest stop. And she had to fix the car with the emergency fund. We've reserved it for those types of things. son's problems and the wife needing to get to work. But I swear to God, if I don't get that merch, if I don't support this guy, yes, he has 3 houses. He deserves 8. He deserves 8. And I'll tell that to my wife, my fat wife. When she looks at me and goes, do you think he needs more? You don't know what he needs. He's not like us. He's not like us. He was raised in a different time, in a different place. And this whore. This whore will look at me and she'll go, how dare you spend our fucking money on merch for this pig, this fat pig? And I'll say to her, you know what? That's it. This ain't working. And she's going to go, we don't have enough money for a divorce. I'm going to go, I'm not talking about a divorce. This ain't working anymore. None of it. The air, the water, the soil. I feel like I'm on an alien fucking planet. So I'm going to take my Tim Dillon Show hoodie, and I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to listen to Freebird in my truck one more time. And then I'm going to blow my brains out and drench that hoodie in blood. And I'm going to have you and the kids find me, you ungrateful, grating, and horrible shrew. I'm going to have you and the kids find me. And the next day, like clockwork, they slept through the gunshot because they were all fucked up on their sleeping pills and their booze. When they walked outside, they didn't hear the old man. They didn't hear him tinkering in the garage. They didn't hear him. They didn't smell the morning cigarette. They just went up to the car, and they saw the blood splattered all over the front seat. The old man was dead. But he was in his favorite merch. He was in the merch of his favorite podcast. And they buried him in it. And they fought with The Undertaker. Because you're not going to bury him in a bloody hoodie. You go, yes, we are. Bury him in a bloody. So my hope is that no matter where you are in your life, buy this merchandise. Because it is important. And it is beautiful. We put the time in. Ben emailed the designer. I was on the email as well. I don't really check the emails, but I'm on it as well. Even if you're going to kill yourself in front of your family, as I imagine many of you, I imagine 30% of the people who listen to the show are going to do exactly that. Probably before New Year's. Quite frankly. I just hope that you do it with the Tim Dillon Show merchandise because it is beautiful. Because here's one thing. It's gutsy. You know who Hillary Clinton should have had on that show? Vince Foster's wife. I don't know if he was married. He probably was. We want to thank our friends at Gas Digital Studios. We want to thank, what's your name, the producer?
Francis, right?
Francis. We want to thank Francis. We want to thank all the moms and dads out there, and all the families that are listening to this on their way to Freedom Fest. All the families out there in this great nation. You know, I'm humbled and inspired every day when I hear about the stories of Medicare fraud and people that are taking advantage of others and people that are faking their own deaths. I'm so happy about it. I say to myself, you know, it's fucking, we're still fighting. We're still kicking. We're still kicking. And that's beautiful. But I think I've done a decent job selling merch. And we're going to launch it soon, motherfuckers.
You can sign up at timdillcomedy.com.
How about you go and sign the fuck up and TimMillerComedy.com. You go sign up right now because I'll tell you right now, it's really beautiful. We should do a tour of like 4 cities in upstate New York. Just go to like Hell on Earth. The Hell on Earth tour. Just like dig into Buffalo.
Yes.
It might be fun. Just do a week like right by Halloween.
Yes.
And call it the Hell on Earth tour.
Pretty great.
I think we might do that. There's nothing better than that area in the like Halloween. It's Halloween all year round.
I like the Cheesecake Factory in Syracuse. I like this.
Yeah, we went to that, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was good. Phenomenal. All right, everybody. Stay focused.
Good morning.
Right, 2:30 a.m. Listen to this. Now, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has told Sky News that he will not hold a referendum on whether the country should become a republic in his first term. He said this was a moment to show gratitude for the Queen's service to Australia, the Commonwealth, and to the world. So here's that international exclusive interview with our correspondent, Cordelia Lynch. The Australians' relationship with the Queen is enduring. What do you think? The Australians' relationship with the Queen is enduring. What do you think it was about her reign that achieved that special connection? Did you catch it? Did you catch the glitch in the Matrix this whole time, this whole live stream? There's now 18,000 people watching. This lady's been so sad, and oh, it's just so awful, so awful. Let's just do this one more time, just because it's funny. It's so sad. Let's go to this clip. This interview. The Australians.
Huh.
Changes her demeanor, goes back, flips her hair around behind the ear. This is a coworker. Change the camera. Oh, go back to set.
Yeah, but what she said? I didn't catch what she said. Oh. We'll ask her when she comes in. All right. Yeah. Oh, good morning, Hanson. Toxic dust result. Don't watch that.
Zenni's glasses are so affordable, you're going to want more than one pair. Shop hundreds of frames, starting at $6.95. Pick your favorite using virtual try-on. Choose your lenses and ship them right to your door. Prices for everyone. Eyewear for everyone.
What are you doing, handsome?
Hey everybody, it's Liz, and today's video is going to be a reveal of what was found in the soil testing as far as lead goes here in the Lake Mead National Recreational Area. If you didn't see my original video or the first video where I went around and collected the samples from 5 different locations, a picture of that video is right here, or you can go down in my playlist and watch it if you'd like to see which 5 locations I took samples from. But I mailed the samples out to an accredited lab, and in a matter of 10 days or so, they emailed me the results, and I have those results that I'm going to be sharing with you now. And if you do watch the first video, or if you didn't, I'll just remind you, the whole reason why I did this is because I'm really concerned about a lot of the dust and things like that that get kicked up and flown around here in the Vegas area. You know, with the Lake Mead receding so much, it's exposing a lot of shoreline. In fact, shoreline that hasn't been exposed for years or has never been exposed up until this point. So I was concerned about what is settling in the dirt there that is now going to be kicked up by the wind, that we're going to be breathing, that's going to be settled across the valley. There's lots of things that could be in sediment besides lead. There's arsenic, there's other toxic poisonings, there's pesticides. But as I explained in my first video, to test for all of those things, I mean, I'm not a scientist or a geologist or any of those types of things. And I went online, tried to do a search. It was either going to be extremely costly to have all of these things measured, or it was going to take a really long time to get the results. So the easiest and quickest thing I found was on Amazon, where they do the lead testing for soil. You just scoop it up into a little plastic bag, you ship it off to their accredited lab, and they email you the results. And I'm going to share those results with you right now. I just wanted to show you this really cool place that I'm at. Right when you enter into the Lake Mead National Recreational Area from Henderson, like right over by Lake Las Vegas, you come in, you're traveling in, and then you fork off and you turn to the left. And the very first spot that you'll come to where you can turn off is called the Wetlands Trailhead. And so then you follow this short little trail, and what you'll see here is what looks like a river. So where this water is traveling from is it's coming down in this direction here through these reeds, or whatever you call them, down through there, and this is all traveling down into Lake Mead. And the source of this water is actually the Las Vegas Wash. And what goes into the Las Vegas Wash is all of the reclaimed water from the wastewater treatment plant that is getting pumped back out, and also a mix of street water or rainwater. It did rain a little bit in Las Vegas today. You can see some clouds over there. That's towards Boulder City. This way over here is towards Las Vegas. It did rain, so you are seeing a mix of rainwater as well as reclaimed water, street water, and this is all heading down towards Lake Mead, and then mixes in with the Colorado River. Here's a recap of the 5 areas that I took samples from. 4 are within the Lake Mead National Recreational Area, and 1 is outside of it. You'll see I've labeled each of the 5 sites. 1 through 4 are within Lake Mead, and one is outside of it, and that is number 5. The first site, labeled 1A, was taken right outside of Hemingway Harbor. Looking at the results of the 1A soil sample, it shows that analyte was detected. Analyte is the substance they're checking for, and in this case, it's lead. It shows us a result of 21.9 milligrams per kilogram, which is the same as parts per million. So that'd be 21.9 parts per million. Shortly, I will put these numbers into context. Sample number 2B came from Boulder Beach South. In the results, you'll see that no analyte was detected at this site. Sample number 3C came from Boulder Harbor, which is now a poor, shriveled up shell of Oak Harbor that once was. I don't think there's a chance of this one ever coming back. In the results, you'll see that no analyte was detected. Sample 4D came from Colville Bay. In the results, you'll see analyte was detected at an amount of 35.9 milligrams per kilogram, or 35.9, which is the highest number we've seen so far. Last sample, number 5E, came from outside of the Lake Mead area, and this is at a place known as the Wetlands. Water from the Las Vegas Wash travels through here, and at the beginning of this video, I showed you how it continues on and travels to Lake Mead. There is water in here every day, the majority of it coming from reclaimed water from the wastewater treatment plants. In the results, you'll see that the analyte was detected at 16.4 milligrams per kilogram. So how do these numbers
Looking for the perfect mashup between meal prep and delivery while staying healthy? I tried what feels like every top healthy meal delivery service, so you wouldn't have to. And here is what I discovered. My main criteria for a meal kit were that all of the subscriptions had to be plant-based and are delivered right to your door. And be able to choose your meals each week based on preference, with the ability to pause or cancel at any time. After trying all of these meal deliveries, it was literally a no-brainer that Splendid Spoon was the top choice. Splendid offers meals and smoothies, and Splendid smoothies arrive ready-made, pre-blended, unlike other companies. Their portions are also bigger, which makes for a better value. And Splendid smoothies contain less sugar and provide the nutrients to start your day off right. You really just can't beat the convenience of having healthy, clean ingredient meals that are ready to eat, delivered right to your doorstep. If you're looking for value for money, convenience, high nutritional value, a Splendid Spoon is the right option. So try Splendid Spoon today.
add up? What do they mean? First, I'll show you what the lab gave me, and they stated that the EPA soil standard for bare residential soil is up to 400 milligrams per kilogram in play areas and up to 1,200 milligrams per kilogram in bare soil in the remainder of the yard. And in a soil lead fact sheet from a university, it states that lead is naturally present in all soils, and it generally occurs in the range of 15 to 40 milligrams per kilogram. Here is a summary again of what was found at each of the 5 sites I tested. When you compare them against what is normal and what the EPA soil standard is, the amounts found at Lake Mead are pretty insignificant. Okay, well, those are the results. For some of you, it might be kind of anticlimactic. You're like, wow, all of this just to tell us that there's really
not that much lead to even worry about at Lake Mead, well, that's a good thing, okay? Most of us that are watching this that saw the results, that is a good thing. When I first saw the results and saw that there was lead in some of those places, of course, at first I freaked out. But then once I educated myself on what the EPA considered acceptable levels of lead in your soil, then, what the test results came back with are not that big of a deal at all. So those are the test results, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you are still here watching to the end, I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video.
Mhm. November 2021. Holy shit. $7,430 subscribers in less than a year. That is amazing. Oh, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, come on. Well, let's do this. Do that. Do that. Do that. And go here. Here. Mhm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. No, fucking pot fucking advertising.
Just can't be a great week. That's why I love it. It's been nice this time. It's normal. Most importantly, it's legal. So for all you baby boomers out there who think this is illegal, guess what? It's not. So if you want to get plays legally, click on the link below. I really do like it. I'm not bullshitting. I really do like this stuff.
Mood. Look at this. Wow, I've never seen anything like that.
So this is the toilet here. It goes straight into the water. And they're going bait on that sea. We've been told that there's no shooting currently at our checkpoint. There isn't another checkpoint, but not the one we're going to go through. So we've got to get through this checkpoint and basically get out of here while we can. Machine guns being fired over this wall. Here it is. Like I said, we need to stand against this wall. Yeah. Bullets come over the top. Walking past the houses here. This is made out of water potties. Look at these living conditions. This is plastic and old corrugated iron. The government burns rubbish. It doesn't put it in landfill. Nope. It runs. Some people play lottery here. You can win 2,000 crores. What's happening here? So I have to put my car in this area. So when they shoot it, when the bullets coming from that area, so it's really that frequent. All the time. All the time. Is this lady going to show us her house, Sean? Yeah, there's a bullet hole there. So you'll just be sitting here and bullets spraying down over the whole neighborhood. So they call that fish from that seaway where it's doing it needs its toilet. But they're not worried about like a bullet going up and hitting a plane. This is probably the poorest place in the Western Hemisphere where we are right now. It is, exactly. You can't go to the coast here because it's snipers. This is the front line right here. Yeah, this is the brakes wall. Did not all those blocks down with bullets. Yeah, the gang. They are the gang. Okay, we almost done here. We can skip. Okay, now we have to just get out of here because we don't want to be caught in crossfire. So to leave today, we're going to have to cross to the area where they're shooting. We're going to have to go through the shooting. Yeah. Haiti, the poorest country in all of the Americas. A country that has faced constant struggle from earthquakes.
7.3 magnitude earthquake, 120,000 people killed.
To gang wars. Gang war wages on in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. Kidnappings and killings getting even worse throughout the country.
Armed violence has reached unimaginable and intolerable levels.
Countless kidnappings.
Gangs is believed to be behind the kidnapping of 17 missionaries. This has become daily life. Tires burning on city streets. Protesters furious at the government's inability to confront kidnappers.
Corruption. And untold poverty. These are amongst the poorest people with an average salary of less than $3.50 a day. The situation has become so desperate that there is currently a mass exodus from the country.
200 migrants stopped at sea.
Deep in the jungle in Panama, parents clinging to their children, racing for the hundreds of miles ahead.
More than a dozen Haitian migrants are dead after the boat they were on capsized.
Millions of people fleeing, risking their lives for the chance of a better one. So what is this notoriously dangerous country like on the ground? Well, I guess we'll just have to jump on a plane if we want the answer to that one. What is this place? This is actually a war zone. Guys with guns everywhere. These are some of the roughest streets I've ever seen. And they said they're going to arrest you. Well, I guess I'm going to a Haitian prison right now.
Shove it, shove it.
This country is so extreme. The fearless having to get pushed on any of my trips. So basically now we have to just get out of here because we don't want to be caught in crossfire. And the bus will protect from stray bullets, is that right? Yeah. Sean, who you'll meet shortly. He's mentioned that there's a high likelihood that we're going to hear some fire today, some open fire in the streets. So I've got to listen to what I'm told, keep my head down, see what it's like in this neighborhood, hopefully meet some people who are still living there and hear what they're going through. Let's go. We're going to drive about 40 minutes, meet a guy on a motorbike, jump on the back of that motorbike because you can't get in because of flooding. So you can see the desperation. Let's go and see, meet the people, hear their story. Today we're heading downtown to Cité Soleil, City Sud, and try to meet a couple of members in that area. They're expecting us. The worst slum area you'll find in the country. Port-au-Prince, which is the capital, which should be the safest area in any country, but it's actually the most dangerous. Cap-Haïtien right now, it's blooming with tourists. There's a lot of tourists that is going to Cap-Haïtien. But Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti, is actually the problem. And that's where all the kidnapping are happening. Is that something that you would have heard happening in Cap-Haïtien or Jacmel or any other places in Haiti? Port-au-Prince is actually the problem, not Haiti. And so it's the most dangerous situation. Exactly. And have been since 2004 until now. It still is. Just picking up some water to give out so we get to this one. Food security is terrible in this country. Okay, so we're just kind of arriving now. We just passed the armored vehicle, and you said this is the area where there's rival gang shootouts? Yeah, exactly. This is where exactly that the rival gangs, what do you call the G-PIP and the G9 will start their fights, and that's the gang names, right? Exactly. And so this is like the border area of G9's territory? Yes. Yeah. This is your checkpoint. Okay, so we've just arrived at the checkpoint. It's all good? Okay, this is a very intense area. We just pulled over. There was like 4 guys ran out with massive machine guns. We're going to meet one of the gang members who's at the outpost here. This is the checkpoint spot. So it's basically like a war zone. So Sean, we just arrived at this gang checkpoint, right? Yeah. And can you just introduce this man and what did he do here? They are fighting against other rival gangs we call G9. So what they're doing, they want to come inside of Cité Soleil and start shooting and even putting fire in some housing. So their jobs here is to protect any invasion from G9. And this like brick wall, this is the front line right here. Yeah, this is the brick wall. If I will go. I saw another one, yeah. So this is like no man's land. Yeah, exactly. Reminds me of war zones I've been to in the Middle East and places like that. That's exactly what it's happening. All the bags with jokes in them, right? All the sluts. And he just tell me, your camera is, just recently they knocked all those blocks down with bullets. Yeah, the gang. They had a gang, so they had to fix it. And when was that? This. God, 50% bigger meals are our inspirations in. They're packed with up to 30 grams of protein, 50% more calories, to keep you guys feeling full and satisfied while losing weight and building strength. The veggies, the meats, it's all done for it. Our inspirations are filling and full meals, sizzle and satisfied. Best of all, you'll eat 6 times a day. Order now, guys. 50% off of weight loss. This Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, just a few days ago. How often are you engaged in shootouts? the G9 gang with barbecue, there's actually a shooting tool with them. So barbecue, for people who don't know, is the leader of the other gang. Of G9.
Once a nation police officer, he is now the leader of a powerful confederation of gangs called G9.
Okay, we almost done here. We can skip it. Okay, let's go. Check, man. Cheers. We just pulled over and we've been told by this guy to park the car here because the bus will protect from stray bullets. Is that right? Yeah. So when they're shooting this bus, bullets will hit this bus and not your car. My car, so I have to put my car in this area. So when they shoot it, when the bullets coming from that area, so it doesn't hit my car. It's really that frequent all the time. All the time. Okay. This building, it looked like a full-blown war zone. You know, it could be parts of Syria that look like they've been bombed. So now we're going to jump on some motorbikes. Yes, and then we're going to go inside. Right. Deep inside of this building. And so the deeper you go in, does that mean it's safer than like the outskirts? Exactly. Right. Exactly. Okay. So what will happen, they have control of the whole area inside where they are. But now, what happened is the checkpoint is protecting it from invading. Right. Let's get on bikes now because there's flooding up here. It's an absolute mess, this neighborhood. Okay. So I had to lower the camera there because it was a sensitive area. But yeah, this place is absolutely, this is one of those desperate places I've ever been. This guy's got serious skills on a motorbike, 3 of us, and he's driving up curves. That's not filming him. They're very sensitive to the camera. Because it's facing me, they think it's facing the other way. Because there's gang members there. I've got to be super careful. Been to conflict zones all over the world, some desperate places, slums in all kinds of countries in Africa and Latin America. This is the most desperate, hellish place I've seen. I've just got here. I can't really process this at the moment. Quickly along there because you can't go to the coast here because there's snipers from the other gang who will shoot from down the coast. So you have to move quite quickly there. They even shoot children apparently. Here we are. Jacks. This part of the coast is safe, but it's the one to the left, which is... The one to the left is not safe. Actually, the point is, it used to be on the left side. Okay. So because of the shooting, they relocated to the right side. They're shooting here right now? Yeah, okay. So we're walking past the houses here. This is made out of water. Water lives here. So just look at these living conditions. This is plastic and old corrugated iron. I've got 6 trillion left. I need to pass that. You were born here. I'm born here. 40 years living here. And can you explain to, So the area we just were, they were shooting 30 minutes ago, just before we arrived. When we arrived at the checkpoint, they would have been shooting here. By the time we made it in, we walked past that area. The fishermen have to move when the shooting happens. They have to kind of change the fishing depending on where the fire's coming from. You get a nice guy here, you can see he doesn't want to be on camera, but he's lived here his whole life. He says, can't imagine living here, living in these corrugated iron shacks made out of broken construction site toilets. We just arrived at the toilet on this beach, and the locals have to pay to use this. It goes straight into the water, and the people are bathing here. There's fishermen, they catch their fish from here. Sorry, there's floating species here. What do you think of that? Okay. Right. Have you not seen this before, Sean?
The first time I've been coming here since 2003.
Right.
I've never known it existed here. See the fishermen,
The guy walking in the...
they're walking up under the ship. And they go and bathe on that sea.
So this is where they wash
That's
themselves.
insane, disgusting. I'm
wash-
sorry, man. It's pretty down.
They must be diseased. This is the toilet here. This is the toilet paper used there. Just saw a girl come in and use it. Sorry. Use this toilet. Okay, I'm just composing myself. This is this place is really shocking. Not sure how well I captured coming in. It was moving really fast. We were like riding through, flooding. These guys with guns everywhere. When we arrived, they ran up to the car with massive weapons. They're going to show us the weapons soon. There's things on fire, rubbish everywhere. There's these toilets. They're swimming in feces. So you can make out this is all the feces here, just floating. People come, they swim. I'm standing on trash right now. This is all rubbish. Keep in mind the fishermen have to be careful of toilet sitting them. So they caught that fish from that sea where you saw they were doing the toilet. So that's where I wonder if they're not gonna get sick. And you ask, do you ever get sick or you never get sick? No. Strong immune system. It looks like it. The airport is just behind Cirque du Soleil slum here. Are they not worried about like a bullet going up and hitting a plane? No, but by accident or something. Sometimes they like to get there. Yeah. Right. So the planes, like the airport's right there. All the tourists are coming in. And the tourists have no idea what's happening below them, right? So these tourists come and they might go to nice beach resorts and stuff, and right below the airport where they're touching down their first, contact with the country that's happening. Yeah, thanks. Is this lady going to show us her house, Sean? Yeah. Okay. Bullet hole there. So you'll just be sitting here and just bullets rain down over the whole neighborhood all the time, every day. That's something that happened constant. Just when we were here, I heard a bullet while you were filming, interviewing him. I heard the bullet. I was like asking one of them, was that a bullet? They said, yeah, that's coming from the Gina. Crazy. So.
It's like a pond. Anybody can go into it, they can stop and clean it, they can go.
So there's actually 5 people living.
Yeah.
5 people. So basically we have 3 people sleeping in the bed and 2 people sleeping on the ground. When it's raining, it's actually a struggle. They have the fence sheets. Yeah. You can see our holes in it. Yeah. So when it's raining, they got flooded. And also, the bed that
the thing is, she was lived already, but she doesn't have it for now. And that's why she's still remains. And she just wanted to have you lost anybody close to you. And you have a cousin that was killed. He was coming back from work and they shot him. So this is a new house. You can see that. How people live here on rubble. So that's it. Just rocks. It's here. This is easily looks it's for a place I've never seen in my life. Sure. Yeah. What's happening here? Grapefruit. Breadfruit. Yeah. Can you just explain like what it's made from? She's going to do a stew and she's gonna go around the neighborhood and sell it. But she made it with breadfruit. What's that? Breadfruit is you'll find it mostly in the Caribbean. If we remember with history, that is something that the French used to feed the slave with. And it was actually neglected in the Haitian community everywhere. That many people didn't even eat it. But during those the problem with food insecurity and with hunger, now decided to eat the breadfruit again. But it's actually a fruit that is growing on a tree. It looks green. And then once it's ripe, it's ready to use. So they pick it and they cook it, boil it. And after that, they beat it up until it becomes like a stew. Yeah, yeah. And how much does it cost for one portion? Combien on vend pour tom-tom? $10. Oh, 75 boots. It's like a lot of food for a really cheap price. Yes. Would you say that most people eat it? Oh, a lot of people, even all over Haiti, are eating tom-tom nowadays. Right. That's the whole, yeah, the whole. I've seen these little bank kiosk stands around. These are actually lottery, so people play lottery here. You can win 2,000 euros. Lottery exists everywhere, right? This is like the runoff from the nicest like parts of the city up in the mountain area, like the hotel I'm staying in, and then there's also hotels there where you can pay like $5 grand a night US dollars, and all the rubbish and the trash gets washed down here into basically the poorest place in the West. This is probably the poorest place in the Western Hemisphere where we are right now. It is exactly. It's the Cité Soleil. In some areas, they don't even pick up the trash, and when it's rain, there is no other places that it will wash off, so it comes down to the area of Cité Soleil, then they would have to suffer. Would you say that that's a metaphor? I mean, if they themselves are quite dirty, what do you think they're going to do to the streets that they go about? What do you think they're going to do to the other people? All the rubbish comes here, even to burn it. The government burns rubbish, it doesn't put it in landfill. No. It burns. There's no landfill there. No, there's no landfill there. It burns. It's here as management of the streets. Sean, this is one of your projects that you do some work, charity work here, right? Right. There's you say yams and peas. You have yams here. We have peas, sweet potato, papaya. And these given out to families to cook and things. Yes. And you want to make this bigger? Yeah, we should get it bigger because I can see that they are very motivated. We bought them the plants, we bought them the soil. They're doing pretty well with it. So I think the organization, the NGO is thinking of how to make it bigger. We're just arriving at the hospital here. Is this a functional hospital? Yes, sometimes. But if there is rifle gang fighting, the doctors or the nurses will not be able to come. You will see all kind of patients in this hospital. But mostly those who have hit by gun wounds. This is an empty hospital. Yes. And I was just informed now that